this isn't going away anytime soon.
It's one of those stories, Hutton, where there is no winner. The accuser, certainly not a winner here.
So he was on ESPN with First Take.
There's a lot happening in Club Shay Shay right now.
Yes, there is.
Lots and lots going on
Shannon
at Club
Sharpe,
Shay Shay.
Who, is Shay Shay media podcast, supposed to be upwards of 9 figures. Sued on Sunday, civil lawsuit, $50 million. Accused of assault, sexual assault, battery, and more. And Shannon Sharpe's side of things saying, hey, this is consensual sex. There's video of consensual sex that is being made to portray as non-consensual. And there's a blackmail scheme going on here, a shakedown, an extortion of his wealth. And it's coming by the Jane Doe, the plaintiff, and her attorney, Tony Busby. The whole thing is just pure craziness. And eventually it comes down to whether or not you think the video is edited.
Yeah,
that's what the jury's going to have to determine.
There's a video. We're going to get to a recording of a phone conversation between the two also that's been released and reported by TMZ Sports. There's a lot of layers to this and anything. I will say, like, my first thought, and I don't know, none of us know exactly what went down or what was going on between Shannon Sharpe and this 19-year-old woman. My first thought on the story when I saw the description and read accounts of the lawsuit was Trevor Bauer. It was very similar in the choking allegations, the sexual assault, sexual battery, the allegations. And we know how the Trevor Bauer thing ended,
right?
Which was, it wasn't good for the accuser, right?
Yep.
And again, I don't want to compare and say it's the exact same story or anything like that, but that's just where my mind immediately went was some of the descriptions of what was going on was Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, or for him, because he ends up out of the league.
Oh, yeah, no, it was very damaging to him, too. But it looked like it doesn't look like. His part of what he was saying looked to be more accurate and was in the end, as opposed to what the woman was saying about
Sharpe released a statement that was through his attorney. And Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of rape, and will not submit to what he sees as egregious attempt at blackmail. This is through Lanny Davis, the attorney for Sharpe. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and the law. Now, also at the center of all this is an audio recording that apparently the Sharpe side is saying appears to be warped or distorted, and they need third-party confirmation that this audio has not been manipulated with. But this is an audio recording that was recorded by the plaintiff where Sharpe allegedly threatens violence.
Anything I say, you're just going to, get mad at, and you're just going to hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Sharpe's camp has tried to be on the forefront of this. They've released text messages as well that are between him and her, that Jane Doe, where she is sending explicit texts back to
certainly
Shannon
consensual,
Sharpe.
that part of it, based on the text messages that were released.
Tony Busby, the attorney, is saying, well, those texts happened before the alleged rape, not after. Or during this time frame we're talking about, which was sometime in 2023, whenever they're saying this took place. They met in L.A. in 2023 at a gym, and that the relationship. Let's see. According to Front Office Sports, the relationship grew tense when Sharpe went on Instagram Live while apparently having sex with another woman. And in the aftermath of the incident, this suit alleges that Sharpe anally raped the plaintiff twice. So this is where Sharpe has then countered with information of his own through his attorney, through Davis, who has released these text messages and has said that the video is of consensual sex, not of non-consensual sex, and what is this blackmail scheme. Here is Shannon Sharpe's official statement.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
So he's playing the race card on this?
Playing the race card, he targets black men, according to Shannon Sharpe. I had to look up the situation with Jay-Z and Tony Busby. So Tony Busby had a woman claiming she was raped, a Jane Doe, by Jay-Z. But apparently the woman then later said the rapper did not assault her. So now there is a countersuit from Jay-Z against Tony Busby that is heading to court of extortion. So he is being sued currently by Jay-Z, and that's heading to court for extortion. That's a pretty important piece of info to put in here about Tony Busby also and what's going on with him legally right now.
And Busby also represents and represented the women who filed against Deshaun Watson in the NFL.
In which he won settlements for those women that he represented.
Yeah. Sharpe makes that look way too easy to sit there and just be like, yeah, my family knows what this is all about. You know?
How many times do you have to compose yourself if this news breaks about you and you got to stand in front of a camera and he's reading? You can tell he's reading from a prepared statement.
Deciding to get out in front of it.
But, yeah, like that, I'm kind of with you. That was way too easy for him to do that.
Because Clay pointed this out on his show. Like, if it's extortion, if it's blackmail, and you release the text messages, you release the audio or video or whatever is already out there, and you're saying, hey, it's not actually 30 seconds of video, it's actually 10 minutes. Why don't you put that out there? It should be about 10 minutes, Tony. Then what are you actually being blackmailed with if it's all in public eye and public perception anyway?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's already out. Like, the embarrassing part is out.
Yeah, so what are you blackmailing the person with that you're threatening to put out if you don't pay the money? Like
that's a good point.
Because it would be out there.
Yeah. They would say, hey, we have this info on you. We won't go forward
and
if you give us so much money.
The text, again, released by his attorney.
It's also interesting to note that Shannon Sharpe he's not accusing them of a prior extortion attempt, right, or blackmail, right? There was not, they came to me before and said, if you give me $5 million, then I won't do any of that, right? There's none of that. This just came out in the lawsuit from Tony Busby and the accuser.
The statement from Lanny Davis, let's put this up there. I mean, this is how he leads the statement, is with two text messages sent by Jane Doe. They put the name in there, and a text message to Shannon Sharpe. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me. That from October 7th, 2023. I know you missed this big juicy ass. $25K for each cheek. That from January 1st of 2025. So that's how he leads this.
Yeah, with her text messages.
Yes.
Which Busby's claiming came before. Now, there's one in October and one in January of this year. October 2024 was one incident. One of the texts is from January of 2025, right before a second incident, according to the accuser.
Talks about, putting children inside of the woman. putting a tongue on an asshole.
Interesting also how it's Jane Doe in all the reports that I'm reading, in the accusation, and then in the statement from Shannon Sharpe, it's, here's the woman's name.
Well, and Shannon Sharpe, he says her name in the video as well. Yeah. So, I mean, this isn't going away anytime soon.
It's one of those stories, Hutton, where there is no winner.
No.
There's no winner. Tony Busby, not a winner here. The accuser, certainly not a winner here. Shannon Sharpe, absolutely not a winner in this whole situation.
No.
It's just embarrassing. It's cringy. It's bad.
Well,
it's bad all the way around.
And I mean, he was on ESPN with First Take on Monday and Tuesday. He's not going to be on Wednesday through the end of the week. ESPN says that was already pre-scheduled. Shannon Sharpe's side says it was already pre-scheduled off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But he was on today and Monday with this all being coming down on Sunday. ESPN did not respond to any request for comment in regards to this story. But they did have, they are making light of it. I say they. Pat McAfee. His show, Pat McAfee show, is live in Las Vegas because Pat's involved in everything going on with WrestleMania. And on Monday, following WrestleMania, he had Paul Heyman, who is the Hill manager, one of the talent for WWE, on, which is a big deal because of a big storyline development at WrestleMania. And even Paul Heyman, who is known for twisting the knife, is, well, hear it for yourself.
CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no, jeez. Oh, boy. All right, see, all right, we don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me, I'm not the one getting sued.
Whoa, okay, all right. Whoa.
I mean, I laugh.
Brilliant. He's a brilliant
Paul
man.
Heyman.
Paul Heyman's a brilliant guy. That's just really funny.
I mean, you could have Paul Heyman
Don't
on.
boo me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Yeah, but I mean, the optics of that happening on ESPN.
Yes.
And then again, it's McAfee, and of course, Sharpe's on First Take. That's not going to go over well behind the scenes. And I wonder if Shannon going to hop on First Take the next time he's on and call out. He's going to have to call out Paul Heyman now.
Well, Pat McAfee is the most interesting thing on ESPN right now in terms of their daily shows. And it's interesting because he's basically malware to the ESPN system that's been inputted into every computer on their network
Shannon
every
Sharpe's
day.
not?
Well, Shannon Sharpe, too. That's interesting also in its own way. But they're putting a show on that is infecting ESPN by attacking them on their own airwaves, right? They don't own Pat McAfee. He does what he wants.
Yeah.
They willingly it's like willingly putting a virus into your computer system is what they're doing with Pat
On purpose.
McAfee.
In order to cure it, you want another virus.
Right. Like, let's put a spotlight on all of our failings. And in doing so, we're going to make a lot of money for Pat McAfee to do that for us, to put it on our network to make fun of us.
Just let's play the Paul Heyman again.
Odd decision.
Because this is, so CM Punk goes into WrestleMania with Paul Heyman. He leaves WrestleMania as a loser because Paul Heyman leaves him for Seth Rollins. And
of course he would.
The storyline and why WWE wants to have Paul Heyman on the Pat McAfee show the next morning live in Las Vegas is so that he can be asked the question of why, Paul, why? And he ties it in with ESPN.
CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no, jeez. Oh, boy. All right, see, all right, we don't need
Oh, boy.
We don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me, I'm not the one getting sued.
Whoa, okay, all right. Whoa.
Oh, that's really good.
Whoa.
Oh, that's funny.
Now I can hear it now. We have Shannon Sharpe calling out Paul Heyman now in the middle of the squared circle, Chad, live on ESPN. It'll be a lot like LeBron and Stephen A. Now it's Shannon Sharpe, it's Shay and Heyman.
Remember when Jim Everett went after Jim Rome for calling him Chris Everett? I'm just already envisioning the scene where Stephen A. Smith is making fun of choking in some way, like months after the story.
Yeah.
In an argument with Shannon Sharpe on air, and Shannon Sharpe's like, if you talk about choking one more time, I'm going to come across this desk and I'm going to end you. And then it actually happens. Like there's an actual on-air altercation physically between the two. I could totally see that happening with both of them.
Oh, what's next? Are they going to like go screenshot by screenshot of the video to show what Shannon's going to confirm what was real and what's fake about the video, about the edits?
Yeah. I mean,
this actually happened
in doing in everything that he's admitting, like to combat it. It just gets more and more embarrassing. So what if he comes out and he's like, you know what? I actually have the full hour of that encounter because I have secretly recorded everything in my bedroom.
No, he said it was about 10 minutes.
And I've got the video of it. Here it is. Let's
about
roll
10 minutes long.
Remember he said show the full 30?
The full 10.
Full 10, yeah.
He said it's about the full 10.
Well, little does she know, I've illegally recorded everything that goes on in that bedroom. I even accidentally posted audio one time of me with a woman. Here it is. Here's the full 10 minutes. Enjoy.
He would have access to the full unedited raw footage.
If he was actually recording
if that was being recorded, and then if it was edited down to 30, I would then want to present the full raw footage to the jury. Shannon doesn't seem to have a problem with that.
No,
to show that it wasn't that it was consensual, that it was not rape. I mean, he wants to clear his name and saying that this is just straight extortion for his wealth with his contracts that are coming up and all the money that's coming in. The timing of it is not the timing of it is obvious from where he stands. But, man, if you're talking about just trying to just put it all out there, like here are the texts, here's the encounters, here's why it was consensual. And my family knows exactly what I'm talking about here. It's like,
you discussed this over Easter lunch?
Yeah. Well, one of those tonguings apparently happened right around Thanksgiving.
And we're not talking about turkey and gravy either.
Yeah, but put up some of the text if we can. Like you can see the dates on these. November 23rd.
Man, big time holiday weekend.
I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you. That was from November 23rd, 2023.
That was from the woman.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's Happy Thanksgiving.
Right. She just wanted a palate cleanser. Really bad Thanksgiving dinner, apparently.
But again, this is through.
I gotta get that. I gotta get the taste of those yams out of my mouth.
Yeah.
There's only one way I know how to do that. Get over here, Shay Shay.
I mean, only if you put that baby gravy in me. Then you can do whatever you want to me.
These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Miss Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult, absolutely, relationship that included role-playing sexual language and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Miss Zuniga.
It goes into the editing of the tape.
That girl sounds so young, too. I know she's 19 when this relationship started, but my first takeaway from the actual audio of the call, she sounds younger than 19 when she's on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you mentioned Easter. I was like, well, it's quite the Thanksgiving.
He is risen. Let's go to break.
All rise.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
stay tuned. More coming here on Hot Mic.
All right.